This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. Today's news is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New service and repair. Call Gunny's 775-727-6800.
Welcome to News 25 here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. It is Tuesday, June 21st, the very first day of summer and the vernal equinox, better known as the summer solstice.
That's why I'm so overheated. Well, a person said to be in a desperate situation allegedly lit his home on fire this morning. He was able to get out alive. 2 of his pets did not survive. Now he's facing charges related to the arson and the death of his cats.
Early this morning, just after 4:30, Pahrump Fire Rescue is dispatched for a report of a structure fire. The initial remarks were that the RP was reporting that he had accidentally ignited a fire within the house by improperly discarded smoking materials. He described heavy black smoke throughout the house and that he was attempting to escape. As Engine 3 arrived within a short fashion, they found that there was nothing showing from the exterior of a one-story residential dwelling. But their investigation, once they commenced it further into detail, they found that there was a moderate to heavy black smoke condition throughout the residence. They also determined that there was no life safety issues. The occupant was outside the structure. However, 2 cats were unaccounted for. They awaited the incoming crews. They commenced an interior offensive objective, which means they basically take the handlines in a very aggressive fashion, move to the inside, and they've extinguished several pockets of fire throughout the house. As we were going through it, we determined that those inconsistent pockets were giving us indicators that this was less than an accidental type fire. And at some point then there was information secured by the Sheriff's Office that further suggested that. We added Deputy State Fire Marshal to the assignment. He is out there. He is continuing his investigation as we speak. It was a newer stick-built structure, and right now it looks like the majority of it was held to pockets within rooms, so we call them multiple room and content fires. So medic crews assessed the patient while on location. However, he decided not to be medically treated. Therefore, the Sheriff's Office then transported him over to Desert View Hospital.
Frank Van Landingham, who heads up a Facebook page called Front Sight Lawsuit, says that firearms training facility Front Sight south of Pahrump is going through some more changes. KPVM has reached out for comment with no response from that facility. Front Sight owner Dr. Ignatius Piazza has filed for bankruptcy. We caught up with Van Landingham via Zoom to find out about the lawsuit court case and the notice of default and potential foreclosure on the Front Sight property.
The good doc filed for bankruptcy, Chapter 11. And he wishes to be a debtor in possession. And normally that's all well and good when you have an honest businessman and he's doing everything he can to keep the market, keep the store in bad market conditions and things like this. You can blame COVID but it turns out that's not exactly the case. He has, in fact, according to official court records that we have, been quote unquote borrowing money with no repayment at all, and over $20 million he's taken out of Front Sight. From 2016 to 2019, he's taken over $15 million. All of this money has gone towards luxury homes, luxury cars, bank accounts, God knows where. And the problem is that he's been selling memberships and he's been selling a lot of basically securities de facto. Promising that he's going to build a resort. And I know a lot of people who have put all of their retirement money into this, a lot of people who put $10, $20, $30, $50,000 into this, thinking that it was a legitimate investment, when in fact, all they were doing was funneling money to him, that he was buying fancy cars and airplanes and all kinds of groovy rich guy toys. And now there is a day of reckoning. He can't keep the doors open because he's taken all the money. And none of the construction that was promised ever happened. I mean, I'm a building contractor. I've been in this business 40 years, and I can tell you, there is no serious construction whatsoever going on there. They might move a little dirt and put a couple of, caution signs around just to make it look like they're doing it. But they've been basically pushing the same pile of dirt back and forth for a number of years. And all the while, he's talked about his grand plan to build a resort, an RV park, a clubhouse. This was supposed to be sort of like a gun tree club where you would go there and they would have all the finest amenities. And people who had bought in at different levels would be entitled to free stays in the hotel. Some of them had purchased lots that were going to be developed into villas. A lot of other people had purchased not just their own lifetime memberships, but additional memberships that you were able then to turn around and sell. And then every time he needed more money, he would put out a call to arms, and he would say, basically, the enemies of Frontside are trying to steal this place from you, and I'm trying to save it for you because I'm going to build it and give it to you. And so you need to help me save it. And so people would, myself included, would send in money and be part of the Fighting Five, the Patriots, the Founders, whatever new name of the day, he would coin. And all the while, all that money goes one way. It goes into his bank account. It never goes into the property. And lo and behold, he winds up in bankruptcy court claiming that he only has $10,000 in the bank, not enough to make payroll. And now he wants to borrow an additional $5 million. And the funny thing is, the new lender that he found was just created out of thin air. Literally 2 days after he files for bankruptcy, a brand new lender, an LLC, is formed for the express purpose of lending him money, which we suspect is his money, and he just wants to put a little bit in. And then he wants that to be first position in terms of repossession, which means everybody who's a creditor gets kicked to the back of the bus. He puts a little bit of money in, and if anybody wants to be made whole, they first have to pay him $5 million and buy him out because he wants to be in front of all of this. This is absolutely unconscionable. And so that's where we find ourselves now.
If you'd like more information, you can go to Facebook and look up Frontside Lawsuit. You can also give Frank a call at 805-310-7277. And stay tuned. We'll be right back with much more local news here on KPVM.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrump's optometrist since 1990, offering full spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300. News is also brought to you by Lisa Spahitz and Mike Plasmeyer at Country Financial Insurance. Auto, home, life, and commercial. 775-727-8920.
Welcome back. Well, yesterday, Monday, was the late John Schultz's 62nd birthday. His family honored the man whose death still remains a mystery.
John and Barbara Schultz had a beautiful life and a beautiful family until March 8th of 2021, when the husband, father, and grandfather, who was a driver for Lyft and Uber, went missing. John's 2015 Toyota Prius was found a few days later on Wheeler Pass, stuck in the mud with visible damage. Las Vegas Metro, Nye County Sheriff's Office, and Search and Rescue, as well as private parties, scoured the area looking for any signs of John. John's skull was found 7 months later on October of 2021, 11.5 miles from his vehicle. Search and Rescue is still attempting to find other parts of his body in the area described as 6 miles from Indian Springs in the desert. It is unclear what happened to John, how he ended up in Wheeler Pass, why he abandoned his vehicle, and how he died. Investigators hope that locating additional remains and evidence will give them some idea about what happened to this 60-year-old retired air traffic controller from Vegas. His family, in the meantime, has brought John back home to his final resting place in Ortonville, Minnesota. We spoke to John's wife, Barbara, shortly before her husband's body was found. Barbara believes foul play was involved.
I definitely do. At one point, the police were saying that maybe he had a medical breakdown, but I don't believe that at all, because he had no signs of it the day before or anything. And I just don't think that he even knew about that path and why he would ever end up there, and why would the stuff in his car have happened. And he wouldn't go up on that mountain. He's afraid of heights. He doesn't like winter anymore. That wouldn't be his indication to go if he had a medical breakdown. It wouldn't be up there. He would choose somewhere else to go, And everything else shows foul play. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
If you have any information, you can call the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department at 702-828-3111.
Well, one local woman with a small business but a big heart is finding creative ways to give back to those in need here in our community with a classic car show.
Rose Yager owns Rose's Paradise Home Health, which offers skilled and unskilled nursing to patients in their own home. They even provide everything from companion care to light housekeeping. For the second year in a row, Rose and her team have held a car show at their location, 2360 East Calvada Boulevard. The show had a total of 14 classes of cars that were up for awards. They held raffle prizes, had a disc jockey, and food from Pete's Meats and Treats. There was fun for all who attended the important fundraiser to help those in need. We caught up with Rose during the event.
My name's Robin Rose Yager, and I put on a show and shine for 2022, the day before Father's Day, to honor all the dads and moms out there that work hard all year long to have something they're proud of. And so letting them bring their cars out and show off what they've put energy and time and money into. I love it. It feels good. It lets them have honor for something that they value. And gets the community together with the registration fees. So this year we're actually putting registration fees to sponsor elderly that can't afford home health services, to just bridge the gap. Sometimes their insurance takes a little too long to give the approvals. Other times insurance won't cover. And so this gives them a chance for someone to come to their home, maybe go do grocery shopping, stand by and assist for a shower. Just the basics sometimes is what people need, and being able to afford those things is a real problem for people that are severely disabled. And even if you can afford it, it's expensive. And so this gives a little break, a little reprieve from that. And so last year we did we did the registrations to donate to the homeless. We did jackets and blankets. This year we decided to do something towards the elderly and the disabled in the community that can't afford home health care otherwise.
Well, here I am. I got best of show. I didn't expect it, but I've got it, and I think it's wonderful. I love it.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, I had never heard of it, but do you know what mindful eating is?
I'm not exactly sure.
Well, if you don't know either, we're going to tell you that and more after the break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. Also brought to you by Silver State Health. Visit silverstatehealth.org or call 702-471-0420 for an appointment. News 25, local news you can count on.
We were just joking during the break that every good story starts with, I remember what happened in theater camp, or do you remember theater camp? Well, a special theater camp happening now is continuing weekly performances that are showcased on Saturday nights at Nye Communities Coalition.
The performance this past Saturday featured 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders and was free to public. Jones and the dance coach Julie Weber had been working with the youth at the PAC's new office located in town. This coming weekend's performance will feature middle school-aged children on June 25th, and high school-aged children will be on July 2nd. And finally, on July 16th, we will have a performance by the advanced class. All shows begin at 6 p.m. at 1020 East Wilson Road.
Yeah, so we're doing a youth theater camp at the Pahrump Arts Council. And then middle school is going to be next week, June 25th at 6 p.m. High schoolers, July 2nd. And we're going to have an advanced class where I invite everybody back. And that show is going to be on July 16th at 6 p.m.
Weber says the show's theme focuses on bullying, and her choreography shows duels between each side, villains and superheroes. Each person on each side has their own superpower. Once again, the shows are at 6 p.m. at Nye Communities Coalition and are free. If you would like to sponsor a youth for camp, you can contact the Pahrump Arts Council at 775-505-1362 or go to pvpac.org.
Well, in today's health news, if you're back in the office after working from home, you might want to think about introducing healthier habits like mindful eating. A psychologist for Cleveland Clinic explains what that is and why it can help.
It is tempting to return to dieting, but research indicates that people who diet lose weight initially and then gain it back plus additional weight. Instead, consider mindful eating. Mindful eating is not a diet. There are no menus or recipes. It's more about focusing on how you eat.
Dr. Susan Albers says when it comes to mindful eating, consider the 3 S's. The first is sit down while you eat. Research shows that we eat 5% more while standing up. Second is slowly chew, which can improve digestion and will allow you to enjoy your food more. Finally, smile between bites. Dr. Albers says smiling releases neurotransmitters that will make you happier and can reduce mindless or emotional eating. It also gives you a moment to pause and ask yourself if you are still hungry. Another tip is think about the kinds of snacks you are going to pack for work.
It's really important to bring snacks to work. You may find that the boxes of donuts and cookie jars and candy jars that people put their hands into are gone. This makes it even more critical that you bring healthy snacks to work that are going to keep you focused, energized, and boost your concentration.
Dr. Albers also says some healthy snack options you can include are Brazil nuts, pumpkin seeds, mandarin oranges, and any kind of berry. Anything that's also high in vitamin D, magnesium, or selenium.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Well, let's take our first look at the first day of summer. Blue skies outside.
Feeling already like summer, right?
Yes, it is. 100 degrees and more. Closer look at our forecast after the break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Happy solstice. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, officially the first day of summer. And what's it looking like out there in summertime Nevada? Well, Fernley Fallon, Carson City, you're up in the upper 80s, and that's 10 degrees warmer than is seasonably average. They got some heat warnings up there. Potentially, there could be some thunderstorms just rolling through randomly in the next few days. You got some interesting weather to look at as we head south. Tonopah, mid-80s, 84 degrees, 86 in Goldfield. Beatty sweating it out at 94 degrees. 98 in Amargosa, 101 in Las Vegas. Wow, you triple-digit people. We love you all. 108 in Death Valley. Oh, man, that's a little bit too sweaty for me. Here in the Paradise Pahrump, it's just a scant 96. Not too bad. 99 just a little bit earlier. The winds whispered to us out of the south-southwest to 9 miles per hour. As that sun rose this morning in all its glory, hope and promise for the hope of a new day, 5:26 a.m. It's setting this evening at 8:04. And so we're going to have today and tomorrow, yet we don't lose any daylight. We don't gain any, but here we are stuck in the summer solstice doldrums there. Low tonight, 74 degrees, east-southeasterly winds to 9 miles per hour. Continuing as we head into the week, and what do we see? A couple of days of clouds. Here we're going to have some beautiful sunsets Wednesday and Thursday, that's for sure. Winds, it's still under 15 mile per hour, double-digit weather until we hit Saturday, and then look at that, triple digits throughout the rest of the week. 10 mile per hour winds, clear skies. It's going to be a gorgeous week and a really robust summer Saturday. So look forward to that. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Thanks so much, John.
Thanks.
Yes, it's hot.
But 97, we can handle that.
We can. It's going to get wet there. I just know it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, first day of summer, so we've got a long ways to go. All right, so we have a couple of things coming up. Number one is the Rotary is having their $10,000 cash extravaganza. You can buy tickets. You know what's really great about this is that there's 350 raffle tickets sold to win this $10,000. So if you would like to buy tickets, once again, that event is going to be on Sunday, October 9th. You can call Barbara Thompson, 775-764-0681. You can also buy them from any Rotarian. Sorry, I don't have any on me, but you can definitely call Barbara and I know that she will give you a ticket, and that's so much fun. And they have all sorts of raffle prizes and everything. So find out more about that by giving her a call. Of course, we have another thing that's happening. Tell us all
right.
about that.
If you're getting sticker shock at the pumps, well, Nye Communities Coalition is offering a bit of relief for just a $20 investment. You could win a $1,000 gas card, which means you could fill up twice. No, $1,000 would go a lot more, a lot longer than that. But you have until August 31st to purchase those $20 tickets, as many as you would like. And that drawing is September 5th. And if you're interested, just give them a call at that number on the screen. Or you can go down to Nye Communities Coalition to purchase your ticket.
Just to be clear, that's for the Retired Senior Volunteer Program, which has an office at the Nye Communities Coalition building. They are in office in number 38. That's RSVP. And of course, 1020 East Wilson. Stop on by. Buy your tickets, $20 tickets, and you can also help them out, which they do a lot of good things for the seniors here in our town. And so you can buy them through August 31st.
I'm
going to buy one.
I'm going to buy one. Definitely.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. And from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thanks so much for joining us. And we'll see you again next newscast.
Good night.
Good night.